Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sandbox Saturday stream. I am Alex, and we've got Joseph here with us over
Where
here.
is he? Where is he? Where'd he go? How you doing, Alex?
I'm doing all right. So I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. It is beautiful where I am today. It's cold and windy, but it's very sunny, and it's making my office nice and toasty. So I may be breaking a sweat here soon. We will see. But all right, let's talk about the news. So
it's Saturday, Alex.
it is Saturday.
We're here.
It's Saturday.
This is the Sandbox, right?
Yes.
We got news.
We do. We've always got news.
We do always have news. It's great. It's only been, 3 days, 4 days since I've seen you folks here in the chat. Welcome again. Thank you for joining us. Alex, we have some fun things that have dropped since we last talked on Wednesday. And then we are going to get into the title card here, where we talk about the new land templates that have been introduced in the Game Maker version 0.5.2 alpha test. Alex, the first thing that you already have up here on your screen.
I do already have it up.
Beautiful Sandbox exclusive Zodiac NFT event. We are collaborating with Binance. And you may have noticed, because the trade volume exploded with this announcement, in celebration of the Lunar New Year, the Sandbox will collaborate with Binance to launch a sand trading competition to win some of the 12 Binance exclusive NFTs inspired by the Zodiac signs, as well as up to $40,000 worth of sand tokens. Right. The total estimated value for all of the awarded assets and sand, cumulatively $50,000 worth. You can participate in this trading competition all the way up until the 11th of March. That will end at 11:59 p.m. UTC on the 11th of March. So the entire day it is open. There is 100 copies of each of the 12 exclusive NFTs. And, you're looking at a large amount of volume. This has already started, but you can still participate if you haven't, and you are eligible to trade on Binance. You can trade with the trading pairs of Sand USDT, Sand BTC, or Sand BNB. The rewards will be distributed through the Trust Wallet within 2 weeks after the competition ends, and you'll be able to log in and redeem your voucher via your account section reward center. So the
DJ Mix, I see you there in the chat. I too will be watching with Tears from the US. There is Binance.us. So I think the majority of the United States does support Binance. You don't go to Binance, the main Binance site. You go to Binance.us, and you can participate there, except in certain states. I know Washington State, Connecticut, Texas, I believe New York, several other states. Every state that I've ever lived in, so it's all my fault. You cannot participate, but
Alex spread the non-participation virus in those states, and they said nay.
Yeah. So check availability for your state.
I also have that restriction. However, different kinds of reward campaigns go out for different events as we continue to promote through different companies. So in the past, if you didn't know already, we had a Golden Wizzy reward for contributing to the staking liquidity pool throughout the 2020 period. So you could still redeem that if you didn't know and you had staked at some point. Some other rewards, right? If you participated in the Smurf sale, we had a Smiles Smurf, right? Smiling Smurf. Yep. So there are lots of different little awards and rewards that we give out for different types of promotions and events that, maybe you're eligible for all of them. Maybe you're not eligible for some of them, but nonetheless, we're always coming up with something new. So there's something for everyone. Some of them are exclusive to different regions, like the coin check sale for land that is going on in Japan soon.
So DJ Mix says that Binance US does not have sand. So that's not something I can check on, really, because I'm in one of the states that doesn't support Binance. So I basically have no access to what's going on with Binance. Joseph, do you know anything about that, or maybe
Alex,
Binance
I
US
have the same restriction that you have, in that I am not familiar, because the app simply, when I try to sign in/register for it, it will just tell me, I'm sorry, you live in Washington State and you are not thereby eligible. So I would encourage you, if you're in the chat and you are concerned with not being able to reach out with Binance, that you either request that Binance support, go through the hoops for your state to get eligible, or on the reverse, request from your local government that they try to open up those regulations a little bit and understand that Binance is one of the largest in the world. Exactly. But I digress. Alex, that's not the only thing that's going on.
That is not the only thing that's going on. I would recommend against using a VPN. I saw somebody mention that in the chat because I do not know what your state will do, especially when it comes to taxes time.
Yeah, you run into a lot of different things, including the fact that if you try to use a VPN, Binance still requests your identification. Yeah. So as soon as they see that you're in Washington or Texas or Connecticut or wherever you are in the U.S., they're going to say, nope, thank you, have a nice day. Right? Yeah. So it won't work out for you. Not really worth the time, frankly.
Other news.
New news. The Sandbox also broke NFT records in February of 2021. Proud to announce that the record-breaking February NFT and land sales mustered a total of $2.8 million US, ticking in at 11.9 million sand tokens used for all of the purchases within February. So what does that mean? That means that in February, just this year, we actually accumulated a total number of sales that was, in terms of grossing for the Sandbox, more than everything we've ever had previously, showing an increasing demand for lands all the way across the board, for NFTs all the way across the board. So we're going to continue to see this growth, we believe, but we'll see where the numbers go. More land sales will be announced soon, but no set dates on that. We have other news coming as well. But for now, that was just something that I wanted to highlight really quickly when Alex and I were running through these notable newsworthy items in the past. So Alex, with our crazy amount of land sales, new interest in the Sandbox, why don't we take that interest and spin it onto what's coming up and what's new and where are we going with the Sandbox Game Maker with this latest update?
So, I don't know that it was officially announced, but I think it came out yesterday. You can now download Game Maker 0.5.2. There are not a whole lot of new features, but there are some bug fixes, some little tweaks and improvements that have been made. So if you've been having any issues with 0.5.0, which came out a week or two ago, I don't know. Time is weird.
Weeks, yeah,
a couple weeks ago.
I think it's been 2 weeks.
If you're having any issues with that, I would suggest you go and download the latest version, which may have patched the issues that you're encountering. So just little tweaks and stuff, and it will also get you the latest templates. We have brand new templates in the Game Maker for you to get started to accelerate your building on your land. So there's some cool stuff in here, and we're going to take a look at these new templates. I actually, for most of them, I haven't seen them yet, so I'm going to be learning right along with you guys here on stream. We're going to find some cool stuff. So after you log into your account and you download and you install, you just log in here, go to your templates, and we can see we've got Adventure Island, Barren Night, Dusk Forest, Forgotten Wasteland, Ice Grotto, and Lake Shores. Actually, I think Lake Shores is the old pond one. Yeah, Woodlands. The block is still there, and then you've got all these different behavior demos. So if you're looking to learn how things work in the Sandbox, in the Game Maker, you can check these out. These are like pre-built tutorials, and they will guide you step by step through what is trying to be shown here and help you learn about different kinds of logic in the Game Maker. So where are we gonna go? Let's I want to see Forgotten Wastelands. I want to check this out. We're gonna see what we can do here. Be super
That's a
cool
good
to see a
question.
pineapple Wizzy with a Don't Buy Meme X Sandbox mashup. Don't Buy Meme. I'm not familiar with that. Is that a crypto artist? Maybe Joseph knows something that I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second. Where do I see this?
In the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Gatzilla
Okay.
said it'd be cool to do a
Yeah, I know
pineapple
what Gat's
Wizzy.
talking about. Gat
Okay.
and I have had some conversation about this. Meme, Don't Buy Meme is the meme token itself. It's a cryptocurrency. Okay. And then the Sandbox, obviously, right, we have our own. So if we had any kind of cross promotion event, then pineapple related assets would be the featured thing because that's their logo. So
okay. There's no Mars templates yet. We could do something like that. We could go with this sky even. That looks kind of Martian a little bit. Which preset is this? This is the desert lighting preset. So that could work. You could also go for nighttime. It would give you a nice alien world feel to it. You could even just take this template and then delete all the plants off of it and change that water into some dry, barren, prehistoric places. So you can see that the template set up to kind of enable a gameplay area for you. So what we've got going on here, we've got some ladders. They should have a climbable component. They do. So you can run right up to those, climb up, and I think they've got ladders on all 3 of these platforms. So whichever way you fall, you'll be able to get back up, and they've got a nice little camp for you set up here with a fire pit, some pottery, and a little tent and bedroll, and you've got some nice giant bones to keep you company along with the cactus. So
look at all the bones. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Yep, that's right, Alex. That's me.
All right, let's check out the other templates. So we're gonna go back. Seeing the word pineapple makes me think of a Kevin Hart sketch. Not sure about that one. Adventure Island looks pretty cool. I just love pineapple. I could eat pineapple all day, every day. Put it on my pizza, juice it, put it in a cup. All right, so this template, we've got some birds.
Did you just say pineapple on pizza, Alex?
I did say pineapple on pizza, and I will die on that hill.
That's it. There's a rift between us, folks.
Oh no, we found the one thing we can disagree.
That was the one thing. It's over now.
It's over. Stream's done.
There we go.
We're gonna have competing streams now.
I apologize.
We're gonna have the Alex Saturday stream and the Joseph Saturday stream, where all we're gonna talk about is Sandbox and pizza and how the other stream is wrong, and we'll be at the same time competing for viewers.
You know what? That's fine. That's totally fine. We can agree to disagree. We can't. Actually, you're wrong. You should feel wrong. I don't know.
Welcome to the Saturday stream.
That's right.
Oh, what is this little guy? There's a beaver. Is that? Have I always had that as an item and didn't even know about it? Huh. I didn't know there was a beaver. Maybe that's a newer one. So, you can see there's a lot more going on in this one. We've got this awesome lava waterfall, lava fall from this kind of oddly shaped volcano here. We've got the start of a cave going down in here. That would certainly be a place I would sculpt out into a little hideaway. There is a natural cave over here. We've got a bridge going on to this other area. A whole bunch of birds flying around. We got a floating flower there. That probably wasn't on purpose. Get rid of that. We've got a dragon egg. Does this do anything? Is this set up? Play sound, acquire. Okay, so you can collect a dragon egg from the lava pit if you can get to it. I wonder, do they already have a quest set up in here? There's no quest set up. What's up,
Alex? While you're exploring, I want to address this because the question has come up a couple of times about the Preseason 0 event. So we had announced that previously. That is still coming quite soon. More details on that will be released in proper articles. But on the short, I am, and I believe Alex is, but I'm not sure if Alex has as much time to do it. But I am doing more internal testing with a lot of members of the team on some of the further
Mr.
out
Gorilla
experiences in the metaverse. So let me see if I could find that.
I just got clobbered to death by a gorilla.
Anyway, we are definitely in full swing on making sure that we're doing quality assurance checks before we put that Preseason 0 out there into the world. We don't want you to have the simple things that we cover here on Saturdays and Wednesdays when we talk about game experiences in the sandbox. Sometimes, there have been a couple of times where I'm walking around in the world and my character will I don't want to say clip, but stub my toe, right? And you kind of have to jump to go up a surface that appears like you shouldn't. And we're doing all sorts of bug testing like that right now with each experience that is going to be there and ready for Preseason 0. So be just a little bit patient with us here. We are doing those every Friday when we're doing our testing. So we're still working, have been doing this for quite some time, but there is definitely Preseason 0 right around the corner, just barely there. Monkey Junkie, the Game Maker updates is actually what we're covering here. This is one of the new templates that Alex is jumping around in as we're going right now. The Game Maker got updated to version 0.5.2 this week, yesterday, maybe.
I think it was yesterday that the update came out. Yeah.
So
I downloaded it yesterday.
Yeah. So you can download that right now. Will it be in this month? That is a good question. It may not. I think that it could be, but I can't guarantee anything because we're kind of taking more of a lesson from, for a lack of, not to call any development companies out, right? But there have been a few. Let me put it this way: there have been a few games that have been released, big AAA titles that have been released recently, right? And the developers have said, hey, oh yeah, it's fully functional, we're going to go with it. And then you get the game and all the textures don't work, or something, it's completely buggy and unplayable, right? So it's more important that the game is functional, enjoyable, playable. So we are doing intense quality assurance testing to make that possible. Even things that might seem simple, we have a spreadsheet that is pages isn't the right way to describe it. It's like a small book of simple little things, just tiny things. Yeah. I can jump behind this and I don't think I should be able to. And, so the team is going hard to make sure that the experiences are great for you. And in kind, if it takes a week or two longer, to do that, or a month even, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that you have a pristine experience when you're playing it. So that's the goal. And, the way that game consumerism tends to be, myself still also a gamer, you want to have a good experience over a fast one, right? To push something out and it be buggy or broken, or you get stuck somewhere and you say, oh, well, now I have to bug report this. That would probably be a worse experience for the general consumer. So we want to make sure it's high quality before we just throw it out there.
Yeah.
And, DJ Mix 133, you might be correct about your assumption, but I'm not going to say it live right here on this video and on VOD over on twitch.tv and YouTube.
Ooh.
And
ooh. What is this? What is
I didn't.
There's cool stuff in this one. Okay. So I thought okay, yeah, it's got this desert top. This appears to be a 2x2, and it says barren wasteland, and I was like, okay, yeah, it looks like a barren wasteland. It's pretty straightforward. And then I saw this cave entrance. I'm like, what is this? Apparently, there's a labyrinth underground here. So this is a template that you can just start putting your assets in and making quests out of it. Make a dungeon crawl game or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Alex, it's interesting to note this. Omega Blue Twitch asks on Twitch, they're working in the game maker, wondering if anybody experienced issues with lava causing death in the latest version. My game, the lava is no longer fatal. Do you know if there was a change to the behavior system with regards to lava?
So the case has always been that you've had to manually set what you want the player to be damaged by or not damaged by, and there's been times where the player by default gets lava damage and times when they haven't. So you may have noticed when I was doing the Adventure Island map right before this that I jumped into the lava and I kind of hung out in there for a little bit because I was just noticing that I was not getting damaged by it. But if you go to your you can either go to global parameters up here, or if you're clicked on the avatar portal, you can click avatar settings. Either case, it'll open up the global parameters here, and you go to your controller, and this is where you set the settings for your avatar. So here you can select your avatar, either your player's avatar or custom avatar. I do want to point out real quickly. So the notice here, using a custom avatar makes your experience not eligible to the metaverse. We do need to change the way that reads because it's a little confusing. Custom avatar games will be allowed to be published on the metaverse map. People will be able to play them, jumping from sandbox experiences over to your experience. The thing is that these custom avatar games will not be eligible for preseason content or season 1 content or whatever, however long. That may change in the future, but at least for the preseason, these experiences will not be a part of that because we want to make sure that people are using the avatar experience where everything's kind of a cohesive metaverse whole. So if you, for example, like the squirrel game that was in the game jam, there were some other games that used a custom avatar where you could pick anything. Those games are not compatible with the equipment system that we have plugged into the preseason content. So we're trying to kind of make everything on the same playing field for those events. So that was a little tangent. So you will be able to publish to your land with a custom avatar. It will just not be part of the seasonal rewards system. So back to the controller. This controls the behavior and components. Well, you can't really control the behavior. These items are set. See, they're locked. So these numbers are based on the avatar has a base stats that's the same for all players, and then the items that you pick up for like armor and weapons are going to enhance these values in different ways. And then we go over to components, and you've got your health component, and you can see that damaging blocks, we don't have any listed there. So we could let's add water, because there's no lava on this map that I see. So we add water, and we'll say 10 damage. And now when I jump in the water, it should damage me. Unless, well, I didn't capitalize water, so maybe it won't do anything. We'll see. Yeah, I didn't do it right. So let's see exactly what the name of the water block is, and it's water 01. That's what it is. So we're going to go back to global parameters, controller, components, and we are going to set that to capital W water space 01. That should do the trick. And let's try jumping in the water again. Huh. Maybe there's not a space between the 0 and the 1, or maybe, I noticed this on the last.
It just says capital W water, no numbers. I'm not sure if that is its call.
It's the description. So if you highlight over plants, it says plant that grows in ponds and swamps. So that's
fair enough. Yeah.
that's the description you would get on the marketplace. So, but we'll try. So it used to be that if you just it used to be that if you typed in just lava, both lava and lava solidified would both damage you. So maybe if we put it down to just water, it'll work. But something I noticed in the last map is that water is not changing the color of the camera, almost as if it's not a... Maybe that is a bug. Maybe that's a new bug. Let's try it with lava. And we're going to just put some lava here. And we're going to change
while you're play testing that live, Alex, with the new
Yep.
version here, I'm going to address some questions in the chat as they come up here. One of them quite earlier. Will the player have the ability to change the landscape of the game created by a user, or only the utilities that could be moved would be sandbags? So the question, and I apologize for not knowing your name right off just reading it. I could probably translate it, but if the developer does some work to make it possible, Alex showcased this last Saturday, I believe. It is possible to sculpt the environment live, but you must have tools that are appropriate to sculpt the environment live. So what Alex had showcased before was what he called a paintbrush that looked like a bazooka, right? You held it out in front of you, and on button press, it would build an object. And then after a certain time, as was set by Alex, it could also void the object simultaneously. So it would build a block. Presumably, with enough time, you could develop. It's funny to see you just trouncing around in the lava.
We're just chilling.
Just hanging out. You're just swimming. No big deal. Not even swimming. You're just running. Water is not slowing you. That's interesting. Alex, does water slow you?
It does. Well, it's supposed to. So that's what I noticed, that when the camera goes into liquids now, it doesn't. It's not showing the overlay. So it seems like something got messed up with the liquid system. So that is something we're going to report today
It's
after
a
the stream.
2 steps forward. That's a 1 step back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we make the fixes. We
And
break to something else. Such is life.
That's the game dev do-si-do. That's what you call that. So.
Any kind of development. That's no big deal. We'll hit it up into the team and let them know, hey, this is a new issue, and we'll get it fixed here shortly. But anyhow, with adjusting the landscape, you can absolutely have your players change the landscape of your world if you want to. You just have to code that an object will spawn something in front of it, and then another respective object could potentially use the void command to erase things. But you would have to build those objects in order to be able to do so. So if you want them to be able to literally build a bridge in front of them, Alex showcased this where he was like creating a platform, jumping on that platform, creating the next one, and using that to navigate the world where things weren't available. And again, if you want to limit where they can and cannot, then you would basically have to say if they take this object that could create world building elements to a certain distance, it would explode, right? Disappear in the world. That way they can't just use it wherever they want if that is an aspect of the game you don't want them to have at certain points. And then Matt Coulter asks over on YouTube, how do I disable the sword item?
So that's not, there's not a way to disable it by default yet. That's going to be something we need to look at in the future, is what the default equipment when starting a game is. Of course, you can always open your inventory and unequip it as a player. And yeah, I understand there's definitely certain games where having the sword by default seems kind of silly. So that's something that we've requested that be an option to set the equipment to be optional. Basically, when you would edit your components for your character, there would be some sort of menu where you could say, hey, I want the player to have default equipment of whatever items or no items. And keep in mind that the Sandbox wants to be all sorts of games. So while right now we're focusing very heavily on making this action RPG oriented system work as smoothly as possible, that's not going to be the only kind of game that we want to see people making. And if you play the Game Jam games, people were figuring all sorts of different kinds of games that they could play, and many of them did not require a sword at all.
Right.
The one way that you can make sure that the player does not have a sword by default is by not using a sword compatible character, and it's a little bit difficult to determine what that's going to be. This underground area is pretty expansive that they made. Ooh. It's like Petra down here. Is that what that place is called? Petra, that temple that's like built into the caves. It's got this giant door.
Yes.
You'd have a big treasure room here. I would expand this area out and make a whole temple. It's like a whole excavation dig in here. It's pretty cool.
So I've got.
Yep, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I want to hit up another question here really quickly, because it's a pretty simple one. It says, will the assets be customizable by the developer? Yes, absolutely. If you want to create assets right now, you can. Download the VoxEdit software. It's free. Use it, create whatever you like. As soon as the marketplace is ready, you will be able to publish into the marketplace. Some folks already can. If you're in the artist program, you can already publish to the marketplace. You can already play test it in your game. If you're not part of that artist program, that's okay too. Pre-create those assets, get them ready, and then when you can access the marketplace, you don't even necessarily have to mint it to sell it. You can kind of upload it to your account and then load it into your game, get everything prepared. Another thing that you can do is maybe use a placeholder asset. Like, let's say you have an avatar that you have created that you want to be an NPC, and you have like a generic soldier guard sort of NPC, right? You can place an object that is your NPC for now. And then when the option for the marketplace is ready, you can just go upload that and then go back into your game and very quickly swap out all of the guards that look the same, right? For the one that you want. Things like that can help you get ready for the main launch. When we step out of season 0, we get closer to season 1, but we're going to have the marketplace ready well before we get into that season 1. We're already preparing materials to get the marketplace ready for you, and going over some last minute steps as we go. So that we're right around the corner from you being able to create your own assets. And then again, if you aren't a designer, if you're not an artist, and you're not gonna, take the time to commit to VoxEdit, you can simply open up the marketplace at Sandbox.game right now, and then you can go check through that. If those assets that you see on the marketplace just have a little gray plus in the bottom right corner of their box, just click the plus. You've added it to your account, and you can use that asset to design your game right now in the Game Maker. So check that out right now, and have fun playing, have fun creating. There's thousands of assets in the marketplace right now to use, and Alex is going through them right now as I'm talking about it on the screen here.
I'm trying to find a human that can't hold a sword, and I'm actually having a hard time. It used to be that almost none of the humans could hold a sword when that system was first introduced. And there's one that, and ones that didn't used to be able to hold swords seem to be able to now. So I'm not sure if something got. I think either these assets got updated or they made swords compatible with more characters than they used to be, which is cool either way. Okay.
Yeah, I think the concept of a swordless character right now, while that is something that we want to aspire to reach to, the thing that you would want to keep in mind is that Alex, can you swing around with this Care Bear right now? Can you just do a couple of punches into the?
Well, yeah, the Care Bears just have a simple punch. They don't have the.
But they still do the visual effect, right? So
yeah,
you can see
that should change.
With the exception of the loss of damage, you don't actually lose the mechanic of having the sword, even if you are a child-sized character. And all those characters wouldn't be able to equip that sword, or wouldn't have the sword by default. But nonetheless, they still have the attack action because we're preparing for that preseason zero mechanic, and the direction has been, hey, let's get an action RPG base first. And then once we have that base, start expanding from there. So we're still, as you can see up in the top right of your screen, on release 0.5.2. So not, just a little bit of a ways toward our target of a 1.0, a little over halfway there. So there's still a lot more game design elements to build into the game maker, a lot more things to work out before we're version 1.0, where we would feel comfortable saying, hey, you can make basically anything.
Okay, so they definitely improved the equipment system to be more compatible, because this guy could
this
not.
This guy was made way before. Yeah.
This guy is from either the first or second pre-sale of assets. You can see that his animation isn't really compatible with the sword. He keeps stabbing himself in the face, and that's because he was minted a while ago, and his animations are old. He was made before the sword system existed, and he's also got custom nodes for these signs that he holds. He's like the world is ending kind of guy. But he definitely could not hold a sword before, and it seems that they've made it so it seems like anything with like a left hand and right hand that are properly labeled can hold a sword. I need to do some research into that, exactly like how he's holding it. But he definitely could not hold a sword before, and now he can. So that's actually pretty cool. I don't know that we want the Care Bears holding swords, but now I'm curious about the Smurfs. What can they do?
I don't know. That would be interesting. I'm going to answer this question here as I see it. Will it be mandatory to create actual game experiences, or can I open a clone of my restaurant in game for friends to come and spend some relaxed time, which can't happen in real life because of
good question.
COVID-based restrictions?
Good question.
The question is good, and I think simple to answer. It's your land. You know what I mean? Like, create an experience that you like. It doesn't have to be a game. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a playable or sellable experience, or however you want to put that. There are folks who are already talking about making concerts happen in here. They're talking about making art galleries happen in the sandbox, all sorts of things, right? So this is literally your space, your world to make your experience in. So if that's going to be the one caveat that I would leave for you is that, at least for the moment, multiplayer in a plot isn't it's set to specific locations, right? So we have specially designed social hubs with that in mind. In order to make your game a social hub, that's going to take some time still. The game maker isn't ready to make your game into social hubs, but we have designed specific experiences for social hub. That said, there is still cross metaverse chat at this time.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's gonna. I imagine that would slowly get clustered out to like a regional chat and not so much like the whole metaverse. But right now, you sign into a land or a game experience, you can chat with everyone that's in that land, but you can't see each other necessarily if it's a single player experience. You can see each other when there are social hub experiences, and then if you're in the chat in any game anywhere in the metaverse, you can chat with the metaverse chat, which allows everyone anywhere in any game experience to see what you have to say. So that's right now. Again, we're super early. We haven't even had season 0 yet in terms of multiplayer or gameplay or anything like that. So there will be more expansion to these systems as we go. But even with 100 people all around the world working on assets, development, all sorts of things, it does take time to produce this content. So we will see expansion as we go.
So you can really tell that they
put a sword on anything. Look at that.
We can put a sword on a sword. Like, yo, dog, I heard you like swords, so we put a sword in your sword. So
as long as your sword says it has a right hand, we're gonna put a sword in its right hand. You know what I mean?
So yeah, these characters with this default right sword. The intention of these sorts of characters are to be enemies. They interact specifically with the the fighter behaviors. Well, they can be allies or enemies. They can fight for you or against you. Doesn't matter. But they have a sword as default equipment, so that way you slap them down. You don't have to worry about equipping them or anything, and they're ready to go and fight. So their animations are a little bit different. We are working to consolidate these templates a little better, so that way if you design a human, you can use them as any of those options. So it's just part of the development process here. We're expanding ideas and then collecting them into more efficient ones. But yeah, to go back to the idea of social gameplay, there are some things that I know are being worked on in the process. Is that we would like to set up some multiplayer templates. So while multiplayer is kind of a complicated thing, and just simply slapping a make it multiplayer button on something, it's actually, I think the Sandbox is positioning itself to make that the case. It's a meme among indie developers. I mean, probably all developers, but I see it mostly among indie developers, is when people complain about, why isn't this game multiplayer? It's like, oh yeah, let's just press the multiplayer button and it's multiplayer. It's not that simple.
Turn the switch,
there's
what I mean?
there's
Just
a lot that happens.
Don't even think about it.
So the Sandbox is trying to make itself a game creator with multiplayer built in as a default. That you can just simply turn on and off. That's the goal. And so to kind of facilitate that, we are hoping to make some templates that when you create the template from the main menu, just like you create the other things, that it will be by default a multiplayer land. I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, all the details involved. There are some specific things that need to happen for that. For instance, right now in multiplayer, we don't support combat or physics and things like that. So I mean, you can put those things in there, but they won't work correctly because there's not synchronization across computer to computer. So if you activate an enemy on your screen, it wouldn't show up for the other players as having happened. Or if you kick a physics object, that all happens locally on your machine. And so as people log into a game that's in progress, things will be back at their default positions while they've changed for you, and that just makes things kind of confusing. So if you try our multiplayer hub, you'll notice that that there's nothing really that you can interact with except like ladders to climb up. There's a couple physics objects you can kick around, but nobody else, that it won't necessarily look the same on anybody else's screen when you interact with it. So it makes the multiplayer right now more of just a social experience to kind of hang out. And like Joseph said, we have the Metaverse chat. So once you're able to publish to a land, you'll be able to communicate with other players, and you'll be able to jump from multiplayer experience to single player experience and right back again. So there's going to be a lot of fun options, and it's going to keep expanding and growing as development continues. But we would like to enable people to create those as soon as possible to start getting more multiplayer hubs up. So whether that happens in season 0 or not, I can't make any promises on that. But it is something that's actively being looked into to let people, make their favorite, hangout in real life as part of the metaverse. That's been a long popular thing in games like Second Life, and we're hoping to enable people to do that with the very easy to use tools that we have here.
So get your dance club ready.
Yeah.
Social hub. You know what I mean? So Alex, listen, we are already 47 minutes into this stream.
I think we need to do something.
What does that mean? That means we got to do a bunch of stuff. The first thing we got to do is we got to talk about, I'm going to do a little promo. I'm going to do a little promotion. There was a question in the chat earlier, a comment rather. They said, I got to start catching all your streams. I saw the schedule the other day. So if you are not aware, we are not the only ones who stream the Sandbox game. You can be someone who streams the Sandbox game and could be featured among our live streamers. I made a post the other day, which we retweeted up on the official Sandbox Twitter. And on that Twitter, you can see that we have 96 streams scheduled this month. Some of them are official, like ours. Some of them are community unofficial that we support, like Andy Ritchie, who is about to be on this list. By the way, Andy, we talked about this a little bit. So we are expanding our ambassadors program. Those ambassadors are not these officially supported streamers, but they could be, depending on what they would like to do to help promote the sandbox. Officially supported streamers could become ambassadors. So there's a great big pipeline of content coming down. 96 streams right now also includes some amazing tutorials. We have had the Game Maker Academy, which is hosted by CyberDragon, who has created a whole bunch of tutorials that you can also check out.
Mind-blowing
inside.
Stuff.
So while I've been saying this as well, I have pasted a link to a forum in the chat because it is that time. So on the tutorial section on our Gitbook, you can see there is not only live streams, but there's giveaway links to special events that we do, ways that you can earn sand, earn land, create, give away. I don't think we talked about the fact that the VoxEdit contest is still ongoing. So if you're creating
entries are closed.
Is it? Are they closed now?
Entries closed on the 4th.
Ah, yeah, very good.
But
Sorry,
voting has started.
I lost track of my time. So the voting has started for the celebrity-themed asset contest right now, and that voting will go throughout the week. So those VoxEdit contests aren't just limited to this one. They have been ongoing for the last year, with land giveaways included. And in the last 14 VoxEdit weekly contests, which I think they take about a week usually, we've so far given away 42 land NFTs for game development for those creators who make that art. And that happens by way of vote from the community. So you can go and vote on these. The voting continues all week. So there's like a ton of stuff. If you can't get enough of the sandbox and you want to see more content, follow us on Twitter. You could also follow on Facebook. You can hit up us on Discord. We've got Telegram chat. Telegram mostly is being used for support, but of course, if you want to see more news there, you could let me know. You can watch these streams each and every week, and starting very soon, I will be doing a This Week in the Sandbox. You may have seen it over on our Twitter. We do This Week in the Sandbox, where we have thread piece by piece exactly what's going on, but I'm going to try to wrap all that up into a quick 3-minute video. 3 to 5 minutes, because sometimes they're going to be more news-filled weeks than others. But definitely a whole bunch of stuff going on, a lot of content going out there. So Andy Ritchie is noticing that Alex is running around in the Paris Social Hub experience right now. So if you want to know what multiplayer looks like in the game, open up the Game Maker right now. Click on the Social Hub experience in Paris, and you can be running around with Alex.
Make sure you are in 0.5.2, which is the latest download that came out yesterday. Download. How's he getting up there? What
do you mean?
I kept on getting stuck on the ladder. Wouldn't let me up.
Here's the thing, Alex. Get good. No, I'm kidding.
All right, stream's over.
That's it. We're done. Pineapple.
I'm out.
Now get good. Get out of here. Can't believe you. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on. Always more to see, always more to do. So if you're not currently following or you're not subscribed, all those sorts of things, just click the little button. You don't have to. I'm not gonna, full thing, ring the bell, all that nonsense. But you can keep informed with all the new things.
Smash that like button.
On. They're definitely all happening all the time. Literally any given minute. We could end this stream right now. I can look left. There's probably a notification for something new.
Got it.
That I don't even know about in this particular moment. Because that's how often new things come down from our teams, whether they're well done. I see you climbing the ladder now, Alex. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Andy was like, I'll climb that ladder 100 times. Don't even worry about it.
Good.
But no, we've got new streamers joining the bunch all the time. And if you are interested in becoming an officially supported streamer, the process is really simple. Andy has been doing it all week, where like Andy just goes live. Andy messages me and says, "Hey, I'm live," and I say, "Cool, let me check it out." Right, and I go and I watch that content, and then Andy's content, which is great and engaging. Andy finishes up the stream, and Andy says, "What more can I do to make this more awesome and get more people watching?" And I say, "Well, in my experience, this is you can do this and that, and this little change and this tweak, right?" Andy has taken that to another level, and congratulations. It's just one of the many community success stories that I've seen so far in the sandbox. Super happy to see him succeeding, at least in the way that I think that he wants to. So, anyway, Alex, this contest has been open. This contest has so far had 57 responses to the forum. For those folks who noticed that pop up in their chat and they were listening to that big old long self-promotional ham-fisted spiel. What's up? Yeah. But the contest now, 58 responses. I'm going to give it just another minute. So if you haven't filled out that form, get in there real quick. Rapido, enter that information. And if you can, I will shut it down then, and we will do a little drawing, a little RNG-based selection here. Group photo. Andy wants a group photo.
We could do group photo.
Can you do that group photo?
I can do that group photo.
Who's in that social hub right now?
We've got Andy Ritchie. We've got
Roy Gibbs says no close.
Pixelate.
Roy wants. That's so funny.
We've got Summa Codex and Semper TX.
Cool.
And Driving with Friends. That's who I see so far.
All right. So I'm going to close the accepting responses now. It is the 55 on the hour right now. 64 people have responded, and I will do what I always do and type RNG into my favorite little web browser here. We've got number 54 out of 64 is the winner, and that individual is Tool Swish or Tools Wish. I think it's Tools Wish. Tools Wish over on twitch.tv is you win. I put it down there in the chat at Tools Wish. So congratulations. Yeah, it was a lower amount than some weeks, but I've noticed that for the most part, if I jam it in the middle of a sentence, I can tell who's actually here. You know what I mean? Some weeks we'll have like 150 submissions if I just like put it up and I say 100 times like, "Hey, here's the form, right?"
Cheese. I can't believe.
What happened? Wait, what happened?
I misspelled cheese.
Cheese. Say she's. Okay, say she's. You don't even know we say she's out here. Okay, it's good.
Oh man,
really awesome. So anyway, what this means now, Tools Wish, if you're still listening and you're watching live on any of our services, you're going to notice that I tagged you over on Twitch, and that means that you have won the only Wizzy the Blue NFT asset you can ever win. But if you guys come back every Wednesday, every Saturday here on this stream, and as I randomly release them on other streams throughout the web, let me tell you something. I'm going to guarantee this because this is Andy's launch week as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to start putting him in the calendar. Andy and I have already discussed this. I'm going to add Andy to that calendar of 96 different streams we have this month, starting next week. In some official capacity, we'll work out the schedule between Andy and I. And then when Andy goes live, I'm going to give away a Wizzy the Blue NFT on one of their streams starting next week. I'm telling you this now. So add them, Andy Ritchie, in the chat. We've got other streamers. Again, go ahead and check out those live streamers because I drop into their chats randomly and give away a Wizzy the Blue NFT asset as well. So that Gitbook can also show you everything that you need to know about how to make a game in the sandbox right now using our game maker. Alex is having fun running around with 100 people in the social hub right now.
I'm just posting
This
the
is
group
good.
shot to Twitter now.
Barry Boy, we are adding the game as a category. We already have the sandbox as a category, which is the conflict right now. So you may notice right now that you can actually click the words the sandbox as a publisher or a game platform. The sandbox has existed for many years and has had different iterations starting on Android, iOS, and now releasing with blockchain support in 3D with voxels instead of pixel designs. But the concept is still the same, where it's user-generated content first. So you're seeing still the old stuff, but we've got a team of people working in different capacities. It's going to take longer for us to change that on YouTube because YouTube does it based off of Google indexing. And the Sandbox Evolution had, I believe it was 40 million downloads, something like that. So it is going to take some time in order to do that. But yeah, it will be updated. It will change over time. We already have folks working on it for Twitch. And then YouTube will come soon. I don't think that it even updates on Twitter at all. DLive and those sorts of things are much easier. This is the end of our stream here, Alex. You're partying. You're hanging out in that social hub.
We had fun. You know, there's still a bunch of people running around in there. If you're joining late, you can go on there. But now I have to go and make a bunch of artwork for new content that I can't talk about yet.
I like that. I know what that is.
So you all have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Whatever platform you're on.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. We're too old for this.
No. I don't think am I older than Jacksepticeye? I don't remember.
I think so.
But anyway.
I think he's my age and you're older than me.
Be. Is he?
I'm the same I'm the same age as PewDiePie.
Alex, where's my cane? All right. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to see you on Wednesday.
Have a great weekend.
Saturday. And I'm going to start publishing weekly news content. So let's have a good time. See you later, guys.
Bye, everybody.